What's going on, guys? Adam again, back with Atomic Garage, and I wasn't going to make a video today, but the weather is just absolutely perfect. I've got short pants on, short sleeves on, and it has rained all week. So we're going to mess with the car again, and unfortunately that means pulling off the intake manifold. Coming up in this video. So guys, I haven't really said why we are taking off the intake and everything like that. The reason why is we have a problem with disappearing coolant. Now, past couple days or a few times that I drive it, which has been very far and few in between, I fill it up with water, and as you can see now, it is pretty low. You can't really see, but it's all the way down there, and that truly causes concern for me. The few times that it was cold, there was no heat in the car whatsoever. Now, it could be the fact that I was just putting water in it instead of coolant. That could be a possibility. But I got under the car the other day, checked everything over to see if there was any cracks in the block or the head or anything like that, and I see none of that. I see a few small oil leaks, but that is about it. So, I know I need a coolant temperature sensor. There's two on this BMW. There's one for the ECU, which I already replaced, which is this front one right here. That's that one right there. And then there's one that is in the back that you probably won't be able to see, and it's down in there. I need to replace that. This was also a good time for me to go ahead and check the injectors, see how they're looking. Now, I have been driving this car, not a lot, but I put several, hundreds of miles on it and not a single leak or anything. So I know that works. But now would be the time for me to go ahead and pull this intake off, completely get it soaked and clean the upper part of the intake as well, and just clean everything I can down there. Now, one thing that I've learned when doing this intake is I need to label everything. No matter how seasoned I think I am and how I got this and I can rock and roll, I'm taking a few minutes to go ahead and label everything. Even the obvious ones, except for that one, because, I obviously know where that one goes. But I'm trying to take my time to label everything here so I won't have any more complications and this car won't be down longer than it actually needs to be. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull this lower part of this intake off, finish label all of my wires that need to be labeled, and I'm debating, but I might also pull off this valve cover as well. And I'm gonna have to order a new valve cover gasket because I use Foreman place gasket sealer to make sure it doesn't leak. And it doesn't leak anymore now, but it looks pretty disgusting. If you can tell, it looks pretty awful. I want to clean it up for it to look a whole lot better, maybe even paint it. So those are plans while I'm all in here now. So I'm trying to see if there's any coolant leak that's down on this side, which I doubt it. But that's a good and bad thing. It's a good thing because it's not leaking from the coolant crossover tube and everything like that. But it's a bad thing because that means my engine could be burning coolant, which hopefully that is not the issue. Maybe it's just the fact that car could be running a little bit warmer, only water being put in it. That could be an option. I'm not sure. But there's no coolant leaks under the car. So we're doing some investigating. as you guys can see, I got the intake finally off, and I'm gonna look inside of it and see how it looks. Regardless, it's gonna have to get cleaned up. But what I'm gonna do now is label these wires here, label a lot of these wires so we can know where everything goes. This front plug here is the main one that I've already replaced. This is the one that I have to replace next, and I'm just gonna go through, look everything over, make sure there's no leaks or anything like that, and just try to take my time and clean up this area. But I can say for a fact that these valves look so much better. They look so much better, and I don't know if that is because of the oil catch can, which I really need to open that up and see how that looks as well. As soon as I got off the camera, I see where the leak is coming from, and you won't be able to see it, I don't think, but it is coming from right down here. I see it, so apparently it's leaking from this main part right here. It's not leaking from the sensor over here. So what I'm going to have to do is, once I finish label everything, I'm gonna end up having to pull this back off, this crossover tube again off, and see how it looks from there, and see about if I can silicone it and seal it up so it can seal properly, give it some time to seal, or if I need to go from there. So I'm gonna keep rolling with the label. So I've got just about everything labeled that I need to, and I see what happened with this crossover tube right here. Sorry about the lighting. What apparently happened was I pushed it in, but this the bottom part has like an eighth of an inch or maybe even less than that is not completely seated against the block, and because of that it is weeping. So coolant cannot stay inside of the car to save my life, so I'm gonna have to fix that. In the meantime, this is the Amazon $27 oil catch can that I put in months ago. I have not opened it since. I did kind of break it loose a little bit. I had to put a little Hercules muscle on it, but now we are going to go ahead and see if this oil catch can actually catches oil vapors, something. Let's see. So I don't know if you can see, but that has a good bit of oil in it, and it's a good thing we put the steel wool inside of it. Excuse me for the dirty fingernails. It's a good thing we put this inside of it, because as you can see, it catches the oil vapors. So let's pull this out. That's got a lot in it. Look at that. It is, I don't know how much that is, but that is at least 35% full out of a generic oil catch can. That is stuff that would go into the engine from the intake, and we are essentially stopping it from going in there. So I must say, oil catch can, definitely a thumbs up, even the super cheap ones. So I want to see what is the color and consistency and stuff of this nasty stuff that was caught inside of the actual oil catch can. So I'm going to pour it inside of this Taco Bell cup and see what it looks like. Well, it's not oil. It's something else. I don't know what that is. It could be a mixture of some coolant maybe, but it looks pretty gross. Here is actually what it looks like, and it caught some stuff. I don't know what exactly all of that is, but I'm gonna clean it up with some brake cleaner, and then we'll put everything back. So I pulled this out of the block, and this is the coolant crossover tube here, and you can clearly see the issue. When I pushed it in, this bottom part right down there left enough room for coolant to seep out. And if you notice another thing, I did not put fippage on it. And honestly, I didn't put fippage on it because I said, okay, well, I didn't need fippage before. It didn't come from the factory like that. I'm gonna break my rule. You guys have seen that video. And I didn't put fippage on it again, and see what happens. This is the second time that I did not follow through with my rule. Even just a thin layer of some thippage, some form in place gasket sealer would have done the trick and would have prevented this whole thing from leaking. But you live and learn, and we'll keep it rolling from here. So I know this engine is looking more and more bare as we go on, and I know this video has probably been jumping around a bit and been a little bit spotty, but I'm just telling you my mindset behind this. The valve cover is not leaking and stuff, and that's great, but it's an eyesore. Like I've said before, I want to clean that up. I want to pull it off, sand it down, go ahead and prep it for paint, get that ready for paint. Maybe not today, but another day. Also, I wanted to pull this centerpiece off where the thermostat was. You can see it, it's right over there on top of the intake. I want to take that off and make sure that was all good. It looked good, just got a lot of crud and crap from the years all building up. So I want to take that up and clean that off and everything like that. Just make this engine in the engine bay just look better than what it is, because there will come a point that I'm gonna have to pop this engine bay, and I actually want to be proud of it. I want it to look decent, and a clean engine bay is a better running engine bay. At least in my mind, that sounds good. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, one question I do have for you, and that question is, what color should I do my valve cover, and what color should I do my intake? Now I'm thinking about doing my intake just a regular silver color and clear coat on it, and so that's protected. It'll look a whole lot better. Just silver. Just keep it simple at silver. But the valve cover is one that I'm not too sure on. I really don't know what color I want to do it. And part of me actually thought about doing the same color that is on my calipers. It's a copper color that's right there. I was thinking about doing that color. So that color may go good with the kind of contrast against the black and everything like that. I don't know. So in the comment section below, tell me guys what color you guys think would go good. And I've said I'm thinking about changing my rim color. So the black kind of gets lost within the wheel well. So I'm thinking about doing a different color. Not 100% sure. I'm thinking about doing this like a bronze color. But if I do my rims a bronze color, that means that I'm going to have to change my calipers to a different color to offset. I don't want it to be too similar or just off, because then it'll look kind of tacky to me. So comment section below, tell me what you guys think about all of it. So guys, I think that's going to be it for me today. As you see, I've got quite a bit of work actually accomplished. We got the valve cover off. We've got this front cover off as well, which looking inside of it doesn't look all that bad actually. It's more dirty and needs to be cleaned than anything down there. But you know what? Now's the time to go ahead and do it and try to beautify it and make it look a little bit better. We've also got this lower and upper part of the intake off. We also accomplished and checked out the oil catch can to see if it was actually working, and it actually pulled out a lot of nasty stuff. So we've got a lot of engine parts that need to be cleaned, and I am debating on exactly how I would go about it. So guys, the one question I have is, how do you guys go ahead and clean engine parts? Now I'm debating whether I want to just take all this stuff, put it in a box, take it to my local machine shop and just have them hot tank it, clean them up and soak them and stuff like that. That way all I have to do then is kind of sand them down a little bit, and then I can shoot paint on it. But if I do it at the house, how I clean parts, I use Purple Power. I've used Purple Power for everything. So I would either do boiling water, and purple power and drop them in there and let them soak until it's no longer hot, and just keep doing that repeatedly, which is very time consuming. Or I could just do just plain water and purple power. That's how I clean engine parts. That's how I've always done it before. But I would like to know what you guys use when you are cleaning engine parts. Do you use Simply Green, or is there a special concoction that you make or something like that? Comment section below, let me know about that as well. And as you see, I've got my battle scar for today to show that I've been working. But that's it for me today, guys. I am hungry and tired and want to simply relax. We got a lot done, so I'm pretty happy with it. It's cleanup time, chow time after that. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.